caveman.
Yeah, the forest is not cooperating today.
All right. Well, we'll just have to play through it. But anyways, like I said, it was.
I think it's because
we were up
Pags
by
made the link.
24 points.
Yeah, you guys, and the Sixers had a 45-point first quarter. So like the rest of the game, they only had 71 or 72 points the final three quarters. So I mean, you take away that first quarter where they just couldn't miss a shot. Bulls defense played pretty well the last three quarters.
You know, I've seen a number of games like that. Like the Celtics, kind of same situation. It was a reverse of the Sixers game with the Celtics, except that the Bulls hit the last shot with 3 seconds left, and the Sixers missed it. But it was the exact opposite game. You know, because it was like Boston was up by 25 points at one point, and they just kept whittling away, and then we lost. So, in your case, it was like they whittled away, took the lead, and then the Sixers lost. So,
and that's like, even though the Bulls are 6-1 right now, that's something that they've had in a lot of their games so far. Like 5 of their 7 games, not only have they been down after the first quarter, but 5 of their 7 games this year, they've been down by at least 13 points at one point in the first half. So, like, for whatever reason, the Bulls get off to, like, a really slow start, but then they just kind of, like, chip away, and then it gets to a point where they have all the momentum late in the game, and then it just seems like they can't miss.
Exactly. So, I mean, good for them. They won the game.
It did feel like a playoff game, though, like, for how dead that crowd's been the last few years in Chicago, just being how, like, kind of inconsistent the team has been. Like, that actually did have, like, a playoff feel last night, which that's how the United Center used to be every single night for regular season games, just kind of, like, the excitement like that.
Well, it's been a while since they've seen good basketball.
Yeah, it's been 2021, 2022 was the last year they missed the actual play-in round and made the actual play-in, like, playoff field. That's when they had, like, Lonzo Ball and DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, like, that year. That was the last time they actually finished the season in the top 6. So that was, like, the last time there was energy in that arena, like, during the regular season.
Well, glad to see it, at least. I don't know. Sixers. I was more interested in the Flyers, where they scored 3 goals. 2 goals on a 5-on-3 power play, which I tell you, it's been a very, very, very long time since I've seen that. You know, like, hey, let's score on both halves of the 2-man advantage. I'm not used to seeing the Flyers score a power play goal in the first place. Then proceed to let up 4 goals in the second period, and they finally tied up in the third period, like with a few minutes left to go, which was great. All the goals were scored on one end of the ice. So it makes me wonder, like, how much was the tilt, you know, going that way? Because I think that's a real thing sometimes.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
ice just kind of tilts a little bit.
Yeah, like if you're skating constantly on one end of the ice, there's going to be a little bit of tilt.
But they wind up winning.
I was very happy to see Dallas. I was really happy to see Dallas take out Edmonton in overtime.
Yeah.
Edmonton's not doing. I don't want to say that Edmonton's doing very well right now.
I think they're having another one of their Stanley Cup hangovers where they go to the Stanley Cup, they don't get it done, and now it's like, shit, now we're going to start off slow because we're still hungover from the way we lost.
Right. They're like 6-9 all told. It's like 6.
Well, last year, too, like, I mean, look at last year. Last year, through 22 games, they were like 6-16. And then they ripped off like a 35-game stretch where they went like 34-1 over a 35-game stretch, and all of a sudden we're playing like some of the best hockey anyone even saw for like a 3-month stretch. So they got off to a slow start last year, too.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like so for instance, the Montreal Canadiens, the reason why they have such a good record, they're 9-3, is because they were 5-0 in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make these games to go to overtime, and you've got the speed that Montreal has, I mean, that's why they have one of the best records in the league right now.
Yep.
Right?
No,
The Flyers are.
That's what's funny with the Kraken is we're 12 games in. 6 of our games have been overtime.
Right.
Like we're on pace to have the most overtime games ever.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes the Penguins so good this year too, though. Not like the overtime games, but Tristan Jarry was atrocious last year in goal for the Penguins. He got so bad last year that they actually sent him down to the AHL because he was a complete liability in goal. They basically restructured his contract this year and gave him another chance, and all of a sudden, 13 games into the season, Tristan Jarry's looking like the best goalie in the NHL right now, not giving up anything.
With the Penguins.
Yeah. I think the Penguins have the best record in the East right now, but a lot of that is Tristan Jarry. The guy's got like a 94% save percentage. He's giving up like 1.4 goals per game right now after last year.
That's that. You got to look between the lines right now. Pittsburgh's playing good defense.
Yeah,
that's what happened. That's what happened against the Flyers. They were blocking lots of shots, and only shots that were getting through were direct shots, like right at his chest. It's like any time that there was movement for him to go back and forth, Jarry wasn't. It was beatable. I thought he was very beatable. They just didn't beat him, So the Flyers, for whatever reason, Flyers still need a goal scorer. I mean, I love the Flyers to death, but they are definitely a goal scorer short. They need somebody who knows how to snipe and just get the puck on the net and in the net. Michkov is good, but he, for some reason or another, he's too small to get in front of the net. And that's what I need. I want somebody in front of the net, somebody who cannot be moved, somebody who's just going to stand there and deflect pucks. That's what I want. That's how you're going to win in this league right now, because I feel that anything else, like the dump and chase, is over. Everybody's too fast anymore.
That's like you used to be able to win in hockey with having good shooters, which obviously having good shooters helps. But having like good puck control was really the way that you could win in hockey games before, just to make your passes. Now it's having good goaltending, having players who are not afraid to dive on the ice and like deflect shots, and then kind of in Montreal's case, just having a ton of skaters with a ton of speed that just tires everybody else out, where you got to do constant line changes.
I like to see it there, Donna.
Like even with Montreal, really, outside of Nick Suzuki and that Caulfield, Montreal really doesn't have like that go-to scorer. They are just such a fast skating team that the defenses they go against just get worn down and get so tired. So Montreal gets a lot of easy looks at goal just because of their speed.
If the Dallas defense was Wi-Fi, it would be Jays.
Hey, Jerry Jones did a couple things yesterday to try to fix that defense a little bit.
He did.
Quinn Williams was a surprise move.
Yeah, hey, let's talk about it. I guess it's when your team sucks really bad, why not just get some players and hope it doesn't suck as bad?
Well, the thing that's crazy about it, so you get rid of
Garrett,
right?
My wife
Parsons, rather. You get rid of Parsons, and you're like, okay, cool. You're planning for the future. You're getting some draft picks. You're doing some stuff. And then you just promptly at the trade deadline give all those things away and essentially just kind of get back what you had. So like it was a net zero. Like they didn't get better.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're in a division that it's just going to be Philly and you. So, right. I mean, the other two teams are so beat up that they're not going to do anything. But, and he's gone.
He'll be back, I'm sure.
I mean, I get Frankie's kind of point there. One player from a one-win team is a total upgrade, but Quinn Williams is one of the best defensive players on the Jets defense. That's a massive upgrade for what the Cowboys have had. Like, he is the best player probably on the Cowboys.
Is this
defense.
better now?
That is a little better.
Initially.
Okay.
Like the blur isn't as bad, but
I saw an interview. Speaking of Jerry Jones, I saw an interview on Facebook. Yeah. Hold on one sec. Hold on. So I saw an interview that they did with Jerry Jones. I forget the reporter's name, but they did an interview with Jerry Jones. And the guy asked Jerry Jones, he goes, given your record over the last 30 years as a GM, do you think that there is any team in any professional sport that would hire you as a GM?
He
And,
was,
he had no
yes.
answer for it. He had no answer for it.
Well, no one would, but he did basically say yes. He thought someone would hire him.
And he actually left that interview super pissed off.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And Donna, give me time.
Yeah.
I might.
I will say, I think the two teams that really won the deadline yesterday, though, were the Seahawks getting Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup.
To help with JSN, but the freaking Colts getting Sauce.
Yeah, no, like that was awesome for the Seahawks. It's good on two fronts. Now, obviously, he gets to be opposite of JSN. Also makes me think that Cooper Kupp's injury is going to be a little more lingering. That they go grab a guy like that. But the one thing it does do is it gives you a lot of speed.
That's the thing,
which will help our running game, because since we haven't been able to get good push in the running game from the line, now they've made it so one of those safeties can't come down.
Right.
You have to leave the two safeties up because you have to respect the fact that JSN and Shaheed couldn't blow the top off. So those safeties now can't crash the box, at least as consistently. And so hopefully you'll see our, rushing average go from 3 yards to, 3.8, closer to 4, right? Make it more viable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't give up on it, but it's also not something that's been highly successful. I really wanted to see us go after a right guard to kind of help Bradford out because he's been a bit of a liability. But I don't know if there just wasn't enough available out there or if the asking price was just too high. Either one of those things could be true, or we just didn't make a phone call. Obviously that could be an option too, but
right.
I would have loved to see some right guard help.
And like the thing with Sauce going to the Colts, not only does that solve one their bit. I'm not going to say the Colts only have one weakness, but when you look at their team, like that is their main weakness with secondary help.
Sure.
He's 2 months into signing a 5-year extension.
Yeah.
So that is literally just solving your secondary for the next 4.5 years by making that move.
And that was a move specifically to go up against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
That is what they have decided to do. They have decided to say, okay, if we think our team can beat the Eagles, we'll win a lot of games.
Sure.
This is a Jerry Jones. They're taking the Jimmy Johnson approach.
I think with Dallas, yeah, they were asking about Dallas in the comments about what I thought about who they picked up. I'm okay with the middle linebacker. I wasn't okay with the defensive tackle. I felt like our run was okay. Our run defense is okay, but our pass defense was horrible. I would have much rather seen him get Sauce Gardner and make a heavy push to get him in for the secondary than a defensive tackle. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I felt like we needed more help in the secondary than what we have.
I mean, yeah, Rob's right. Like Sauce Gardner hasn't had a lot. I mean, his rookie year, he only had 2 interceptions, did not have an interception in 2023, had 1 interception last year. He doesn't have an interception this year, but they don't really throw in his direction, though. Like he had 31 pass deflections his first 2 years in the league. He's got 7 pass deflections this year and 16 pass deflections the last 2 years. So it's like he might not be making the interceptions, but he does what you ask a defensive back to do. He breaks up passes and prevents people from catching the ball. It doesn't matter how many interceptions you get if the guys you're guarding don't catch the ball.
Yeah.
Like that's what he does. Like even in college,
why Quinyon Mitchell doesn't get a lot of interceptions? Yeah. Because they don't throw his way.
Yeah, like even in college, Sauce Gardner.
That's really the whole point. Is to have a shutdown corner.
Sauce Gardner had 11 interceptions in college. 7 came his final year with Cincinnati. So even in college, he wasn't getting a lot of interceptions. He was more the coverage corner that was going to break passes up. He did not allow a single touchdown reception in college. So when it mattered, he would make the play and make sure that the guy that he was guarding was not going to catch the ball. And that's literally what he's been since coming to the NFL.
That's exactly Cowboys in desperate need of is a good quality shutdown cornerback, and we don't have any of that. So I mean,
Listen,
I
Dallas
look
is
at
in
I mean,
desperate
we're
need
not
of a
trying to
lot
do
of
a
things.
tackle, but I understand they need a lot of things. But if you can get if you can get a shutdown corner, at least it takes that part of the equation out of it. You already have a decent run defense. You know, I think if you're going to give a first round pick for anything, do it into your secondary.
That's why the Cowboys didn't make that move, though. The Cowboys right now can't afford to give up first and second round picks. They
just gave up a first round pick.
Yeah, but the Colts gave up a first and a second this year. So now the Jets, if you look at the draft this year, the Jets have 2 first round picks in their draft this year, 2 second round picks in the draft this year, and they'll have 2 first round picks in 2027. They have 6 picks in the first 2 rounds of the next 2 drafts. Like, that's how you rebuild your team really quick.
Well, yeah, but they're also the Jets. And
no, they're also the Jets, but that's how you rebuild a team really quick. Like, you get a lot of first and second round picks, like, over a short span of time, and that's why the Colts did that move, because the Colts position-wise have a lot of these players under multiple years of control for their contracts. Like, they don't have to draft all these guys to fill all these different positions. So you go and get a guy like Sauce, you give up a first and second rounder. Yes, that hurts a little bit, but your team is still in a good position to be just as competitive next year when you look at who's under contract for how many years.
I think what Pag said is really the more relevancy in terms of building a team quickly. You can have all the picks, but if you don't know what to do with the picks, you're still not going anywhere. So I think what Pag is saying, if you have the right head coach, the right GM for the culture, then you can actually do something with those picks. Otherwise, you're just getting right through.
Because it's the Jets, I said on the show just before this, I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to go get a first-round punter. Like, they're going to
first-round punter and a first-round kicker.
Exactly. They're going to find a way to mess those picks up. Like, it just is what it is. It's the Jets.
Right.
Well, and it's possible. I mean, right now, just right this second, I mean, it's possible that they could have the number 1 pick and the 32nd pick in the first round. I mean, again, that's some forethought a little bit, but you know,
what Frankie said
where they're at.
And what Frankie said there too, they have 5 first-round picks the next 2 years, and then so they'll have 8 picks in the first 2 rounds the next 2 years. You can essentially package probably a couple second-round picks to add another first-round pick in there with somebody. So like, Jets,
but there again, I want the players. You have so much. Like, you're about to lose your running back too. Your running back's just about to quit on the team. He's like all pissed off that he did not get traded. He's like, damn. Like, so I suspect
didn't you hear the story on that though? So many teams. I think they said 14 or 15 teams called the Jets for Breece Hall yesterday. It's the fact that the Jets were asking for a second-round pick for Breece Hall, and teams were like, no, we're not giving you a second-round pick for Breece Hall. So it ended up being like the asking price was too steep. So the Jets were forced to hang on to him. So, yeah, Breece Hall can get pissed all he wants, but it's like, teams called about you. Be mad at your team for saying that they wanted a second-round pick for you.
Well, they traded everybody else, too.
Yeah. I think he is mad at
and same thing with Jermaine Johnson, who was the Jets' defensive end, edge rusher. That's who the Bears actually wanted for their trade target instead of the guy they got from Cleveland. They got the guy from Cleveland and a 6th rounder, basically, for a 6th and 7th round swap. The Jets were asking for a 2nd and a 3rd round pick for Jermaine Johnson. The Bears said, no, we're not giving you both a 2nd and a 3rd. We'd give you a 3rd and a 5th, but not a 2nd and a 3rd.
See, that's where the Jets, if they were smarter, say, well, listen, here's what we're going to do. We want escalation.
Exactly.
So if you make it to the playoffs, I don't care if this guy doesn't play a down. You make it to the playoffs, it goes from a 5th to a 4th. And then if you guys make it to the NFC or AFC championship game, it goes to a 3rd or 2nd. You know what I mean? Like, you could do escalation per playoff game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Breece Hall's only got to wait 8 more games, then he's a free agent anyways.
Yeah,
he'll be able to go wherever he wants to get paid.
That was why they wanted it. He should have been for a 3rd round pick, because that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, and the Jets
were asking for a 3rd round pick back.
Yep, Jets wanted the 2nd, and that's why no one was going to go a 2nd for Breece Hall. They're like, well, I don't even think anyone would have did a 3rd. I think it would have been a 4th.
I think he probably could have got a 3rd for him. He does have enough talent there, but I do think the escalator would have been
again, what I'm talking about with that is that The reason why they're asking for a second is because they know the moment that he goes into free agency and he signs, you're going to get a compensatory 3rd-round pick. So you are trading a 2nd-round pick for a player this year and a 3rd-round pick in the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do that.
No.
They want the 3rd-round pick, for the 3rd-round pick. They want to do what Howie Roseman did. Said, hey, we're going to rent this guy for this season. He's going to go walk in free agency because he's going to go make a lot of money that we're not going to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to get that 3rd-round compensatory pick back. So we're trading a 3rd-round pick in 2026 for a 3rd-round pick in 2027.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what teams wanted to do. Well, the Jets were wise to that and said, no. You're going to get a 3rd-round pick back for this.
3 and 5 doesn't mean you can't make the playoffs, but did I blank out right there?
Yeah,
you did.
Joe, that 3 and 5, obviously it doesn't mean you can't make the playoffs, but it does mean the Cowboys can't make the playoffs.
No, in all seriousness, when you look at the NFC, the reason why Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore can do that is because their division is a little bit less. AFC is a little bit less in terms of the winning percentage. A lot more under 500 teams, so it's easier to get that wild card spot. And if you look at the NFC, there's even if you look at Bo's division, I mean everybody is way above 500 in there, except for maybe the last place team. I forget who that is, but
Cardinals,
it's too hard to get into a wild card spot. Yeah, thank you. It's hard to get into a wild card spot where you got that many other teams out there to compete against for the wild card spot. I mean, it's going to be too hard of a road, and we don't have the personnel.
I think the AFC is actually
firsthand look. Jay, you got a firsthand look at our last place team.
Yeah.
I think that's another point. I mean, but again, we did a lot to stop the run, but we have done nothing to stop the pass. In a sense, and that still is our number one weakness. And I don't think you can get into the playoffs when our secondary is so ass and our pass rush is so anemic. It's just going to be too damn hard.
I think the NFC, you have a better shot to make the playoffs at 3 and 5 than you do the AFC, because look at the AFC picture right now. Kansas City is 5 and 4, and they're out of the playoff picture right now.
Yeah, but right now, in the NFC, Carolina is 5 and 4. And also out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, they're 5 and 4 and 9th.
Yeah, but like with Carolina though, like Carolina's a team that I don't know if a lot of people expect Carolina to keep kind of. I'm not going to say they're playing well because they're not playing well, but they're also playing a lot better than what people thought they were going to be. But I think at some point, like Carolina's going to start fading off a little bit and kind of fading down the standings. But like Kansas City at 5 and 4, Jacksonville's proven that they are a pretty good team this year. Jacksonville's probably not going to go away from one of those final 2 spots. Baltimore is on that really soft stretch of games where they have that 7 games in their schedule where they could probably realistically win 6 or 7 of those games. Then you go from a 1 and 5 team to potentially a 7, 8 and 5 team right there. Now Baltimore's right back in the middle of the mix, pushing Kansas City, Jacksonville, some of these other teams further down. Baltimore's the key to the AFC playoff race just because of the stretch of games they're in right now, where they could go from 1 and 5 to 8 and 5. They are the key to the entire AFC playoff picture, just because if they get hot during this stretch, they'll be playing as good a football as anybody heading into December, and then they're going to start pushing teams left and right from the seeds up and down.
Yeah, but they have a soft schedule coming up. As I recall, Dallas does not.
Dallas does not.
No, Dallas does not have a soft schedule. And Frankie, that's exactly what I was saying.
They upgraded the apples to apples here. You're comparing apples to bowling.
No, but that's why I said I think the NFC.
So here we go. The Dallas Cowboys have the 20th ranked strength of schedule right now.
Oh,
20th.
That's actually not that hard.
That's what's coming up.
Yeah.
That's so. It's like right now the toughest strengths of schedule are really at the bottom. It's so funny. It's how this works. Is that the Saints have the number 1 strength of schedule. Oof. The Titans are number 2. The Jets are number 7. The Giants are number 6. The Raiders are number 5. The Falcons are number 4. The Bengals are number 8. The Texans are number 3.
Every
beyond
bad team
that,
gets the gauntlet coming up. That's
I think it's because a lot of these teams have so many division games late in the year now. It used to be like you'd have 3 of your division. You used to have like 3 of your division games the first 5 weeks, and then you'd go like a stretch with nothing, and then you'd kind of go into December and finish up your division. There are so many teams that have all 6 of their division games like the final 8 weeks of the season.
Damn, Pags. Robert just said that the Eagles are irrelevant, that the Seahawks are dominant and going to destroy everybody and win the Super Bowl. So the Eagles are, truthfully, by Robert's opinion, dog water. Irrelevant. Non-existent. Doesn't matter. Gangrene is your new name. That's according to Robert, not me. But Robert is saying you're gangrene.
You're reading a lot into that, Jay. But
no. He said he's going to dominate and win the Super Bowl with exclamation points. That is exactly what he said, and I'm quoting him. So let's be honest. That's what Robert said. I didn't say it. That's what Robert said.
Yeah, but we all know Dallas sucks. So, and the last time I checked, you guys are way down.
See, but you're stating the obvious, Captain. I know this.
But yeah, I still got the number 1 seed right now, right? Am I the number 1 seed?
I say, but see, you're trying to take out the wrong person.
I'll wait. I will wait.
No, wait. Can Robert speak? Robert, I need you to do something. Get Robert up in here. I fully agree. Don't take it out on me. I'm just quote what Robert said.
Tell you what. We'll have Rob on tomorrow.
Let Rob defend himself.
Let's do it. Rob, you're coming on tomorrow. Let's do this thing. It'll be funny.
There we go.
Now you're going to talk about like Dallas to me. Like, I don't know. Like, that's Captain Obvious stuff.
I do like the enthusiasm, though. I like it.
No, man. Hey, I told you, man, when Dallas has got Jerry as a GM, we're just screwed. See that right there?
That's the Eagles finishing off the competition.
No. Make that sound again, Pags. Make that sound again, because that's what Jerry is doing to us, sucking every bit of life out of his fan base. There you
sucking
go,
up the competition. Finishing everybody off.
Did Joe just say he's not afraid of Kansas City?
That is some like bad announcing right there. You said sucking the competition and finishing them off. Like, I don't think that's exactly the way you wanted that to come across.
No, you're right. That'll go into sound bites forever.
It's not the After Dark show.
There's deep penetration in the backfield. Like
he's getting double penetrated on both sides.
Bad announcing. Let's go.
Instead of the water boy,
in and out of the
did
zone.
Did Joe really just say he's not afraid of the Eagles or the Chiefs coming to Dallas? Do you realize what the Chiefs?
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of because it's already over.
Yeah, like, do you realize what the Chiefs' offense would do to the Cowboys' defense?
At this point right now, I think that it's going to be a major smackdown. And we'll see in a couple of weeks, right before you guys go to Thanksgiving break.
So the thing is one of the two quarterbacks is going to miss the game. Because historically, they only get to play each other once a year at best. So someone's
well, Dak is probably going to get hurt.
Yeah. That's my guess.
So.
Not if Pinky has anything to say about it. We'll be talking about Pinky later. I can get Pinky. I got a picture of the Eagles. I'm gonna put right there on the face as I'm taking the little pin.
Whatever you got to do.
Voodoo doll. I didn't realize that was the name of your voodoo doll.
Pinky. Yeah.
Pinky. I was like, I don't know what we're talking about. I thought maybe you were taking a bump off your pinky. I don't know.
No. And you ever seen that movie Reservoir Dogs? And you got Mr. Pink. It's Pinky. It's Mr. Pink from Reservoir. You ever seen that movie Reservoir Dogs? Anyway, if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but beyond the point. They came out with the first college football playoff rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No surprise.
Yes, who's on top.
I'm actually a little surprised who's on top, honestly.
Ohio State?
I thought Ohio State would be 2. I really thought Indiana was going to get number 1 just because of how bad they have beaten everybody they played this year besides Oregon. But they went into Oregon and won that game by 10, and realistically, they dominated Oregon in that game. Oregon got a touchdown late to make it with 10. Otherwise, that was a 30-13 game with about 4 minutes left.
Well,
I mean,
I hear that, but
the top four teams, I'm not surprised, but I thought Indiana would be number one on the initial rankings just because of how bad they've beaten their opponents this year. Like they have just destroyed everybody but Oregon's a good team.
so I got asked yesterday. BYU and Texas A&M are playing.
No,
and Texas.
BYU and Texas Tech, not Texas A&M.
Texas Tech. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Got it. I was 7 versus 8.
Yeah, BYU and Texas
Does
Tech.
BYU stay undefeated?
No.
That's what I said. I said Texas Tech wins this game.
Yeah.
Because Texas Tech had their no, I'm not going to say a choke game, but Texas Tech had their wake-up call when they lost to Arizona State. And now they know that they pretty much have to win out to make the college football playoff versus you beat Arizona State, you give yourself a little bit more leeway where you can lose one more game and still be in that conversation. But now that you lost, a 2-loss Texas Tech team is not going to be in the top 12 most likely because they won't be in the Big 12 championship game with 2 conference losses. Because it would be.
I thought it was interesting that Texas was able to crawl back to 11 because we still got Georgia and we still got A&M. So we still got to win out. And I don't know if we can win out, but it's encouraging to see them to see that game from Arch against Vandy was encouraging.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he played well.
So, and of course, we're not going to see Ohio State, Indiana until
Big Ten championship game.
The Big Ten championship game.
The last test for Indiana is this weekend at Penn State. That is like their last test. No, but I'm saying like that, like the last 3 games, they get the Wisconsin Badgers, who are pathetic. They get Purdue, who is pathetic. And then I believe they get Rutgers. So like the last 3 weeks, Indiana should just blow the doors off everybody. Like Penn State, I think at least
it's only Penn State, Wisconsin, and Purdue, and that's it. They're done.
Oh, so they have a bye week. Then I didn't know they have one more bye yet. So yeah, this is like their last
bye week on the Thanksgiving week.
So yeah,
they end on the 28th.
Yeah, this is their last tough road test because in the last 2 weeks they should just go and blow the doors off Wisconsin and Purdue.
So
over here, I'm just happy my Huskies broke into the top 25. Like they're in no danger of making the playoffs, but
hey, you're gonna win. You're gonna win this weekend by 40 over Wisconsin. So enjoy that.
Well, I mean, probably, but the they're not going to get into the playoffs, but I feel like they're outperforming what I thought they'd be this year. So that's always nice, right? When you're going into it, like, yeah, they're probably not going to be a ranked team ever this year.
Well, it's going to depend. That last game against Oregon will say a lot. If you're going to win, if you beat Wisconsin, beat Purdue, and beat UCLA handily, on the 29th, you have Oregon, and that's going to be your shot.
Well, yeah.
And that's going to be – because you'll be at about 15 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
And you win that game against Oregon.
If you can be a 2-loss team in this conference, then there's a chance you sneak in. I don't know that they have the team to beat Oregon, except for the fact that they just do play Oregon well.
Yeah.
So
and you've gotten really good quarterback play this year from your quarterback.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the big surprise because last year you had the transfer from Mississippi State, I forgot who his name was, but you had the transfer from Mississippi State last year who played well at times, but also like struggled at times. Yep. I think you have a freshman quarterback this year, or like a redshirt freshman he's playing a lot better than what I think anyone thought he was going to play. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's we've gotten really well. I mean, just really good play overall.
And your running back Coleman's a beast.
Yeah, well, and I mean, when you look at when they played Ohio State, outside of some questionable play calling once they got in the red zone, like that was a very competitive game.
Yeah,
and so I mean, Washington's proven they can play with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That Oregon game will be huge. I do think they probably head into that game, 9-2. So there's a real good chance that if they beat Oregon, they could find their way in. I just don't think
the week before that's going to be the big game for Oregon as well. Oregon has a really tough schedule moving forward.
Yeah.
Iowa, who's at 6-2, Minnesota, who's at 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
USC, who's at 6-2, and I'm talking. This is right now as we stand right now. And then, of course, Washington, that's 6-2. Washington's schedule is easy leading up to that, and it's at Washington. So the game against USC is going to be fighting to get into this as well. And the Big Ten is going to have what? Possibly 7 of the 12 spots in the playoffs.
I think the Big Ten I think the Big Ten will have 4 in the top 12. I think the SEC is going to have 4, and then you're going to have obviously your Big 12 conference champion is going to be one of the 12. The ACC conference champion will be one of the 12, which is the 10, and then you'll have kind of 2 random draws. So you could have 5 from SEC, 5 from the Big Ten, and then the 2 other conference champions get in. But they always leave the door open for the group of 5 team to get in. Whether that's Tulane, whether that's Memphis, whoever wins that American conference, they'll always leave that door open for that team to get that number 12 spot just because they won the conference championship game. That's how Boise State got in last year, just because they won their conference championship game. They were the group of 5 conference that made that top 12. Otherwise, the entire top 12 is Power 5 teams besides Boise State.
So the surprises that I think that I'm seeing here in the top 12. First off, we have Notre Dame in number 10.
They should be 12.
I think Notre Dame is they should be 14 actually, as far as
absolutely 100% agree with that.
The only reason why Notre Dame is saved right now is because they lost to Miami the first game of the year when Miami was ranked number 3, which Miami's not as good as what they were, but they lost to Texas A&M 42-41. Texas A&M is number 3. That's the loss that's saving Notre Dame, because that game was in Texas A&M and they lost 42-41. If they don't lose, if they lose a lot more to Texas A&M than they did, they're probably outside the top 10, if not even the top 12. That's the game that's keeping them where they are, is just that Texas A&M game.
Yeah, so they're going to be. It's the Group 5. There's 5 group championships, but I think Utah will flip flop. I think Virginia also has the opportunity, and look out for Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech is in the ACC, correct?
Yes, Georgia Tech is in the ACC, so it's going to be the ACC is going to be the most interesting conference, because you have Virginia, the ACC, Georgia Tech, the ACC, Miami, the ACC, SMU, the ACC, and Pittsburgh, the ACC. All 5 of those teams are separated by 1 or 2 games. And I believe
Louisville also in the ACC?
Yep, Louisville's also there, and I believe all 6 of those teams play each other over the final 3 games at some point. So the ACC is about as wide open as any conference right now, as opposed to what teams make that conference championship game, because any one of those 6 can. And that's
I think
that'll determine a lot of the college football playoff field too, because they always give the ACC champion a college playoff berth. So what 2 teams make it is the question. Like, if you have a team ranked 18th and another team ranked 21st, do you really give one of those 2 teams a top 12 spot with whoever wins that conference championship game?
You got to. It's
that's the thing too. Like, they'll take away a bid from somebody else if you have 2 lower ranked teams in the ACC championship game.
Well, as I look at this, obviously some of these teams, like BYU or Texas Tech, is going to be out of the 12.
Yep.
With this loss.
And then the other one will be most likely playing for the Big 12 championship against Utah.
Right. And that means Utah is right now ranked number 13
yep.
on the list with 2 losses. You know, the one thing I am happy about is that there is no undefeated team that's on the top 25 list past the top 5 or 6 or 8, spots. Yeah, like BYU is. Yeah, BYU is 7-8-0.
Yeah.
Beyond that, everybody else who's undefeated, everybody else has got at least 1 loss.
Yep. It's mainly just the top 3 teams too, like Texas A&M, Indiana, Ohio State are all unbeaten. BYU is unbeaten, but they don't play the same types of opponents that Indiana, Ohio State, and Texas A&M play.
Yeah, I think the schedule is what hurts BYU's rankings right now, for sure.
Well, that's why I say if they happen to beat Texas Tech in Texas Tech, you'll see them go up into the number 4 spot and live there.
Yep, that's where College Game Day is this weekend, Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, that's where Buddy Holly's from. Oh,
Patrick
Lubbock,
Mahomes
Texas.
will be there because Kansas City has their bye, so Patrick Mahomes will be on set.
Oh, you know Patrick's going to be there.
Yep.
Brad, I tell you, don't do that again. Don't say that again. I will silence you.
It's
we're not
every
going
game,
to play
man.
this.
Like,
It's
I don't know why
not
that's as
going to. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. Knock it the frig off. You know, it's a football game and football team. You know, this isn't your mom. You ain't going to defend their honor. I don't want to hear anybody talking about anybody else's family. I don't want to do anything about that. Whatever. I am done with that. Knock it off, Brad. You too, Joe. Listen, I know you guys are both on my team, on my thing. I love you guys as followers. You guys contribute a lot, and we love watching the stuff in the comments. But I will not put up with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
End of story.
I appreciate you saying that, Pags, because I was going to say something, but I didn't know if it was going to be my place. I want to let you guys handle that, and I appreciate you saying that.
No, I was just waiting for a lull in the conversation because I've been watching it. Like, yeah, just stop, man.
Yeah, this is.
And we've told you to stop.
You want to banter back and forth? We can banter back and forth all day long. Jay and I do it respectfully all the time. We don't need to be talking about some of the asshole shit, you know, that's going back and forth. And I refuse to put up with it anymore. I will ban you. It's not. It's simple enough for me to do.
Yeah.
Stop it. As of now, stop it. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty much it.
Man. Amen. That keyboard warrior is a hell of a thing until you see somebody.
The thing is just like there's plenty to make fun of about each other's teams. There's no need for anything else.
That's true. Well, I think Pax did maybe a few shows back, a couple of weeks back, when you talked about the bantering and how there's a difference in bantering, and he talked about how he handles it and how they do things, and that's the way it should be. It should be friendly bantering. It shouldn't be fights and all this craziness that we see going on in the world.
The biggest thing there is if you can't keep it about your team, you don't know enough about your team.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as you go into personal attacks, you obviously don't know what you're doing, right? Because there's plenty of stuff to pick at with people's teams.
Yep.
So if you're immediately going to family and whatever, it means you just don't know enough. And you should probably stop.
I mean, since we were on college football for a couple seconds there, the other team that's in the top 10 right now that I think is a team to watch is Ole Miss. Ole Miss is sitting at 6. Their only loss is to Georgia. Last 3 games of the year, Ole Miss has one of the easiest schedules in the country, so they should be 11-1, no problem. But then you have the thing where if Georgia loses a game, Ole Miss is probably leapfrogging Georgia. If Alabama loses a game, Ole Miss is going to leapfrog Alabama, and then you have a situation where you could have Texas A&M versus Ole Miss in the SEC championship game. And Ole Miss, ironically, is winning with a Division II quarterback who spent the last couple of years at Ferris State.
Joe, it's just guilty by association. It's because you're involved in that conversation. Because we haven't seen you say anything to that effect. So,
like if Brad was getting arrested, you'd go down for accessory. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No, Joe wouldn't go down for accessory. Joe would just be brought in for questioning.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's a car ride with some bracelets. So,
and they don't have sparkle. Well, they do kind of shine a little bit.
Shiny.
They don't have no rhinestones on them. Well, they do. Depends on what store you go to, but.
So,
there you go.
anyways, so as I'm sitting here, I'm getting text messages because people are realizing that I was on the radio yesterday, and not only was I on the radio, but they had me on the radio television program where we watch people on the radio. So I'm getting pictures of me. That was me yesterday.
Sweet.
On the radio, on television.
Oh yeah, that's really dope. That's dope.
So,
I gotta tell you, hey, I saw you when you were at the Saquon Barkley Gala, and I liked that. I'm not a fan of the team, mind you, but I did like the way you were dressed. I thought it was pretty dope. I liked it. That was nice.
The tuxedo, and the face paint. First time I've actually done that. So it was, and I tell you, it was. You never know how that's going to work. You know, like it's ultimately. Like I was unsure whether that would have the effect that I wanted it to. But it was very well received. First off, like I as I'm going in, I'm walking down the steps with my girl, and as we're walking down, I feel like everybody's already there, and everybody's dressed in tuxedos or formal suits and stuff like that, and I come walking in with my Eagles tuxedo and my face painted, escorting my date there because she's in high heels and we're walking down steps and she's in a long length dress. So I want to make sure she doesn't go sliding down the steps and,
Sure.
bring in our entrance that way. And I tell you, it was like we were the bride and groom at a wedding because everybody just happened to look up and watch us walk down. Now, I will say that most of everybody was looking at her and not me, but I got to imagine a couple were looking at me. You know what I mean? They're like,
Yeah, because you're not soft
wow.
in the eyes. She was a little soft in the eyes. You're not soft in the eyes. So
I was definitely a big, hey, how are you type on the eyes.
I did gotta ask you, where did you get that tuxedo? Like, did you have somebody formally make that for you, or how did that work?
It was made for me. It was made for me along with the vest. The vest was something that matches in color. But then we had two banners sewn into the vest, one for Super Bowl 52 and one for Super Bowl 59.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw when you had your jacket open. I saw that. That's why I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, wow, okay,
nice.
So, but yeah, it was a fun time and a great event, and I got a great interview with Saquon that nobody can hear. It just so happened that when I grabbed him, you start talking and you don't realize your surroundings until somebody else starts to say something, like an auctioneer starts calling off numbers and you realize that you're right next to the speaker, and it's like, oh man, this sucks, because it's like you could tell that it's like good content between us and you could hear him. But it's like, I'm like, oh man, the guy's like 2,500, 25, right here, 2,500, 2,700. It's like, yeah, I could have chosen a better spot.
That was my interview with Jeff Fisher. I happened to be right next to the DJ speaker, and it was just like,
nice. Of all places. Hey, right. Real quick,
and the truth of the matter is that if you were just to say, that's the thing about this, is that you can just be like, I'm sorry, can we just move over a little bit so I can hear you? They'll move. You know what I mean? It's just so we really should, that was a lesson that I learned, because I tried to fight through it, and by moving the phone closer, and that doesn't work either. So it's just, you got to move, so I know that for next time.
Or get you. Hey, my buddy just got me some wireless mics. That goes plug. It's got a little device that goes into your phone, so that when they talk, it goes right into your phone. Those will help out a lot too for you, Bags. You might want to invest in that.
Yeah,
especially what you do.
I was just gonna say. In fact, since we're up against it time wise, Jay, tell us about your interview later today.
Hey, I appreciate that. So at 3:00 Central, I guess that's 4 Eastern. Celeste Marie Wilson will be on the Whiskey Hour podcast at ESEN. The link tree is in my thing if you want to check it out. But it'll be on YouTube all over the place. And she just got a Josie Award at the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday. And she was also featured at Nashville Songwriters Association as well. And I think Blow has a clip from that.
I don't, because
that's right, we're on Pags.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. We'll get it next time. But yeah, you definitely want to check Celeste out. I'm telling you, I promise you, this girl's gonna blow. She's blowing up. She's gonna be at any point. She's gonna be on the main screen, and she's gonna be all over everywhere. She's gonna be. She writes her own music, which is amazing. But then she performs all over, and she just has a great sound to her. And if you want to go check her out, she's all over YouTube and all over Facebook. Celeste Marie Wilson. The song she got nominated for was "If I Sin for You," which was interesting. Real quick, her dad was walking into the house as she was performing that and on her piano and practicing for her gig. And she said, if I sin for you, will you pray for me? And I don't know if any dad ever wants to hear his 22-year-old daughter say those things. And so he questioned her, and she said, Dad, I've never done that. It's just a song. And I don't know if he took it that way, but it made for a great story. And I'm telling you, she got Storyteller of the Year. That was her video that she won for. Cold Creek Productions and Uncle Rhino all had a part of that. And this girl's special. She's going to be a big-time star here very, very soon, I would imagine.
Is she country?
Country / Southern rock / folk.
I mean, Grand Ole Opry, you assume, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Jelly Rolls played at the Grand Ole Opry, and he's not country at all. I mean, he does sing country.
Does have country
That's
songs.
not true. He is very, very country.
Not like now he is,
Yeah,
but
he is very, very
he's
country.
got rock, and then Post Malone's played at Grand Ole Opry. Hardy's
Also
played at Grand Ole.
on quite a few country
But
albums.
that's not what they're initially known for. Like Post Malone was known to be a rapper, but now he's kind of expanded into the country. Same with Jelly Roll.
Yeah, but you go to whatever genre you move into. It doesn't mean because you entered an industry in one spot, you're there forever. I mean, think of Hootie.
Hootie the Blowfish.
Like best example, right? Darius Rucker, big country star now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she's very much a big infusion of folk, country, and Southern. I mean, you can hear all of it in her songs. Just incredibly talented, that girl. I remember we were going to see. I'll give you one more quick story. We were going to a dive bar that she was going to play in. Had no idea what this dive bar was.
Why is that easy to imagine?
Hold on, but listen, it wasn't just any dive bar. So it was like a trailer park type of people that were into rock and all kinds of like heavy metal type stuff. And it's weird because here comes Celeste, who's from the country, wholesome, blonde looking girl getting ready to walk in there. And she wrote a song. It was 45 minutes from her house to the venue. And in that 45 minutes, she wrote a song lyrically, had the melodies in her head, comes out and says, hey, Jay, I wrote this song. I really want to play it, but I'm nervous about it, especially with this type of crowd. I said, Celeste, you can't win what you don't put in the middle. Nobody ever gets success that doesn't take risks in life. And I said, this is your opportune moment.
Marie Wilson, right?
Celeste Marie Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure. Mm-hmm. And so she goes into the bar. She opens up with it, and she sings it. And mind you, she doesn't even know the notes. She's just on feel, and she wins it. I mean, she wins it. I mean, she's got the whole bike. I mean, we were talking about biker dudes, and she won it. And I'm like, and I told her, I said, see, you can't win what you don't put in the middle. But she's just that gifted that she can pull something like that off. And to go into that type of venue, never even having played a song, not even knowing what it's going to do. I mean, that takes balls. That takes some serious balls.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think if anybody Googles her or goes out and listens to her, if you see the show, great. It's at 3 o'clock. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
There we go. And there's the name to go look up. Definitely go check it out. And at 3 o'clock, Jay will be talking to her. In the meantime, thank you very much for coming in and enjoying our show today. We will be here tomorrow where I think that hopefully StreamYard will work. So,
hey, Jay, on a positive note, you're nice and clear now.
Just in time to be done.
Perfect. See ya.